Hey guys and gals, this is Nick of the Broken Legion of Gamers, and I got a special video for you guys today. And before I start, I want to say a special thanks to 3D Breed Miniatures for sending me the files for these miniatures that I'm going to be reviewing before they even launch their Kickstarter. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So Thursday, 3D Breed sent me the files for their press kit for their upcoming Kickstarter, which starts tomorrow, called March to Hell World War II Europe in Flames. I didn't even recognize the email, and I just opened it out of curiosity, thankfully. But with that said, let's show off these beautiful miniatures. Now, the Europe in Flames Kickstarter is going to hit three eras of the war: D-Day, Operation Market Garden, and the Winter War. With that said, when they start out, they're just starting out with D-Day, which is going to be the German Grenadiers versus the U.S. Airborne. But let's showcase the miniatures. Right here is the NCO that they sent me for the U.S. Airborne. Now, I didn't do too good as you could tell, I didn't do too good of a job with supporting them because the magazine right there on the NCO had a little bit of printing shenanigans, but this is what I love. On the backpack, they got it perfectly. That's all the handles for the shovels printed out beautifully on these miniatures, except for one. I think I messed up on supporting one of them. Here's a regular rifleman just with... Here's the regular rifleman just with the bayonet. And yeah, it's still got to remove that support right there that I missed. Here is the Browning automatic rifle guy. If we can get this to focus. Right there. And what I love about the models in this one, the camo netting on the helmets of some of these models. I don't remember if they put the camo netting on the models in the first Kickstarter, but they got them in this one. Another regular rifleman. And here's how I could show you that they got the backpacks perfectly. Here's for the Europe in Flames model, the backpack. Here's one from Warlord Games. It's pretty close. A regular crouching rifleman. Once again, backpack printed out perfectly. Here's the one where it didn't print out perfectly. I think that was my fault. I think judging by that blemish right there, I think I didn't support it properly. So that's on me. That's not on 3D Breed. Maybe I should have spent a little bit more time on my supports. And here's this guy I love. He's getting ready to throw a pineapple grenade. If it would focus, you can see the grenade in his hand. And there's the backpack. And just for comparison, here's one of the NCOs from the first March to Hell Kickstarter campaign. And size-wise, they're all the same. Now, I'm just going to throw into here this mess of models just so you can get a size comparison of the Warlord game bolt action miniatures. These are definitely bigger, they're chunkier, and they'll definitely be easier to print. Here's the special edition Slammer Samuel. This guy's a little bit bigger. He's from their Conflict 47 range. He was a special gift if you pre-ordered the Conflict 47 rulebook from Warlord Games. But that's the American infantry. Let's move on to the Germans. Okay, for starters, here's one of their submachine gunners. Beautiful model. Check out the detail on the submachine gun. And then the detail on the kit in the back. I even like that they put the gas right there, the gas mask canister on the very bottom. They weren't using gas back in World War II, so they just started using, here's another submachine gunner. So they were just using the gas mask canisters for storing like all sorts of personal amenities. That's a little fun fact I learned from Beasts of War when they did the unboxing of the Bolt Action 2nd Edition starter set. One of them went off on about that. Here's another one of the German Grenadiers. Just a regular rifleman. And there's one more rifleman. And now we're going to get into submachine gunners. Here's just a regular SMG. I actually believe this guy's from the first Kickstarter. I grabbed one of the models I had printed out from the first Kickstarter to show comparisons, and these Germans look so much like the ones from the first Kickstarter that when I mixed them in, I couldn't tell which was which. So that's why any of you watching this that backed the first Kickstarter, you're gonna be like, that one's from the first Kickstarter. Yeah, I know. And here's they're calling it a submachine machine gun, but this is a Grenadier with an assault rifle. Now this is the only qualm I have with the infantry models, and they did a great job. Even on the 28 millimeter models, the what's it called? The pre-supports printed out flawlessly, and that doesn't happen on my machine with my settings, so that's pretty good. The only qualm I have, this is a Sturmgewehr. It's German, it loosely translates to assault rifle. The Sturmgewehr was the influence for the AK-47. That magazine is way too thin for the Sturmgewehr. That's my only qualm with the infantry models. My only complaint, and these, as I said, these are beautiful and flawless. And the fact of the thin magazines, actually, when I was removing the sports, the magazine to this one broke. I think if it was perfectly accurate and a little bit fatter, it wouldn't have broke. But that's on me. That's not on 3D Breed. Now, the last thing, I don't play 15 millimeter models, but here's the 15 millimeter models. This is how they scale up to their chunky big brothers. These guys are tiny. And yeah, I just printed those out to show you guys that the files will come in 15 millimeter. They're pretty much the twins of Some of these models right here, I'm not going to go through them because you already saw the models, but they printed out just as good as the 28 millimeter from the Kickstarter. And back to what I said at the beginning, these models are for the March to Hell World War II Europe in Flames Kickstarter, which launches tomorrow, which is coincidentally going to be, which is the anniversary to D-Day, so they're launching it on D-Day, which I think is pretty cool for World War II geeks. Tomorrow I'm going to have another special surprise video, which is going to contain more models from the press kit for the Kickstarter. And tune in tomorrow to see that video. You guys have a nice night, and that's all.